Hi, and welcome to the 10 square metre workshop. I've owned a CNC machine for 18 months now. So what have I learned from using it? And what would I do differently? Coming up after this. Warning, some of the stuff that follows I have covered in other videos. If you're more interested, go to them for more detail. So, you're thinking of getting a CNC machine. Where are you going to put it? The obvious place is the workshop. But these things, one, are quite big, and we all buy one that's a bit bigger than we really need. Secondly, they make quite a lot of noise, or can do. If you're using one with a standard trim router, which is fairly common, that's quite loud. And having it going for several hours, and yes, big jobs can take hours, in your workshop you will find very tedious. If you can find anywhere else to put it, I strongly recommend you do. Remember, you don't need to be there. It will work quite happily on its own, and you soon get bored of watching it moving up and down. Best to let it do its own thing. One well-known YouTuber made an oak-framed cabinet for his, and it folded into that. For me, that would almost guarantee it would never get used. I fitted mine at the back of my garage, in a clear-fronted cabinet, which swings up out of the way for access. Even with good dust extraction, they do make dust, so it's good to have it in a sealed cabinet. Mine is mounted sideways on. This puts the tracking at the back and gives you easy access at zero position for changing bits. I fitted a water-cooled spindle to my machine. This minimises the noise. You use a pond pump to pump water around it. There's also a vacuum hose system with a cyclone tub to catch the dust. I cover this in another video. One recent change was to fit a sacrificial topper to the cutting surface. There are a host of ways of holding your workpiece down. I went for a grid of 5mm inserts. Here shown from the rear. And here is the top surface. As you can see, this has been used before, quite a few times. But now I'm going to add a topper to it. And here it is in place. I drilled through this at the same time as I fitted the inserts, so the holes match. I will use this as a template for the next one. Next step was to cut out the access slot for my joint master system. Slot cut and ready for installation. Here is the new surface in position. I use hex-headed 5mm bolts into those inserts, and with a cheap electric screwdriver makes it quick and easy to fit and remove. With plenty of clamps and supports, you'll be able to fit most things down. The other thing I changed from my original setup was to lower the work surface. You get two choices with a work bee, and I originally started with a higher setting. Although this is supposed to be more rigid, it does limit your Z-axis height considerably. Rigidly mounted on an 18mm plywood grid, it's actually quite stable. So, what have I been making with my CNC machine? Well, a range of things, such as items like tool jigs, drill holders, trinket box, earring display stand, trinket tray in heavy use, template for cutting MFTs, a plate for mounting key hooks, Christmas decorations, house signs, number plates, signs of all kinds. Everyone seems to want one. And a lot of things I no longer have in my possession, because of course they make great gifts. The nice thing about a CNC machine is you can make things that's almost impossible to make any other way. But it does require its own infrastructure. So if you do want one, think it all through first. And if you decide that's the way you want to go, why not try get a second-hand one? There are several around the country, owned by people who either don't have anywhere to put it, don't really have a use for it, or have given up trying to learn how to use it. Always a good bet. That's all for this time. Bye for now.